Okay, just leaving the Portakey, heading to East Cape, and planning then to go through to Gisborne. And the weather is horrible, and I had a quick check on the map, which I probably should have done before I even thought about this. And from where I just filled up to where the next petrol station is right on the edge of the range of my bike. And you know me, I'll probably head off down some other roads exploring or do some things which are not going to help fuel economy. So, an interesting day in many ways, but the goal is to get to the Cape, so let's see how that goes. It's a very nice looking river. Well, I saw a sign saying there was some fuel around here. And even though I'm not desperate for fuel at the moment, I will be later. So I'm going through it a lot faster with all the hills. So there we go. Retty Point, you saved me. This is supposedly a scenic lookout. Private property, so I can't get up there. See part of a bay that way. Can't see anything that way because of trees. So much for scenic. Well, I really hope I haven't missed the turning for East Cape. Driving for a while now, and would have thought I would have seen it. Aha. So this is the way to East Cape. My goodness. I'm not able to see it on the camera, but there are actually some goats on that cliff. Well, I keep saying I need a little bit of practice for the gravel and stuff. This will be interesting, seeing as it's been raining. A lot of this is a little bit slippery. And it's 20 k's to the lighthouse. 20 k's back. So the road isn't completely gravel, there's sections of sealed road. Some of the sealed road is in very poor condition and it's much worse than the gravel. There's lots and lots of potholes and things like that, so probably not the best thing if you want to take a sports car along here. So here we go, this must be the end. Right, I see, that is the lighthouse. Am I going to hike up there wearing all my gear? Guess I have to, don't I?
Well, here we are, East Cape. I survived the climb up the stairs. Tell you what, it's a lot further up than you expect when you're looking from the car park, and then you try to walk it wearing all your motorbike gear, plus being old and unfit. So very windy up here, so you're probably getting quite a bit of wind noise. But now that direction, somewhere, South America. Not that little island there, that's definitely not South America. And out that way somewhere, Antarctica. So I'm quite lucky to get it on a relatively mild day. But the cool breeze is definitely nice when you've had to hike up. So if you're going to do this, I definitely recommend appropriate footwear and clothing, not motorbike boots and heavy wet weather gear. Mission accomplished. East Cape. There we go.
Well, there we have it. East Cape, mission accomplished. It's a good bit of exercise climbing up there for someone unfit like me. But yes, it's a good thing to tick off the list. So now to retrace my steps a bit, get back to the main road and head into Gisborne. Hopefully by then I will have got my breath back. So other than a few little bits of gravel, the road out to the East Cape is pretty good. Most of it's fresh seal, so by the time you watch this it's probably all sealed. But the worst patch of road is actually the Gisborne. Yep, that's where I want to go. Yeah, the worst patch of gravel is the first bit you hit, and you know that was atrocious. Looks like there'd probably been a few washouts and slips and things, so it's probably due for repair. But when you first hit that, you think you're in for a pretty wild ride out there, but no, it's just a short patch, and then it settles down to a narrow but very, very good road. So you don't need to worry about that. So I can recommend that as a diversion. So let's see what the rest of this journey has on offer. And up into the hills, of course, means back into the heavy rain. Look at how wet that is over there. And that's what I'm going to be heading into, I think. So Te Puia Springs, it's a thermal hot spring. I'm not sure whether it's just my imagination, but you can sort of smell that geothermal smell a little bit when you come around the corner back there. Oh well. Let's do a splash more gas. Say something about the double rainbow? Don't really think it's worth it. Taking another minor diversion to have a look at the Tolaga Bay Historic Wharf. No idea what it will look like. Apparently it's fairly long. That's about all I know. But of course this is not really the weather to be going out looking at that sort of stuff. shall see. Something sticking into the sea. Well, there we go. In this weather, I don't think I'm going to get off my bike and take my helmet off and go for a long walk out there. It's a wolf. Gisborne! So we've made it and the rain hasn't got here, so be able to dry off and warm up. So now it's a relatively straight ride to Napier. I'll take the coastal route on the way home rather than the windy one through the hills that I took on the way up, even though that was much more scenic, but to make it a loop I might as well do different routes. So there's probably not going to be much footage from this leg because I have actually filmed it all before. Well, this was probably a good place to wrap up the video. So that was a nice ride for a long weekend. East Cape, tick that one off the list. I think the highlight was definitely the roads going to Opotiki. So the back road between Wairoa and Gisborne, the inland route, that was absolutely fantastic. And the road from Gisborne to Opotiki was fantastic as well. So shame about the weather, but even on a rainy day that was glorious. So I think that'll be worth doing again on a sunny day, although I suspect there'd be a lot more traffic. So what now? Do I follow the compass points? I've done East Cape. Should I head west now? Anyway, enough of that. Time to get home, get warm, have a nice cup of tea.